Venture capital, angel investors, or bootstrapping. Money is oxygen for a startup. But how does a founder decide which oxygen mask to pull down for their business? I have some Andelicious advice to help you choose the best option and oxygen for your startup. Stay tuned. Hey viewers, Ande Lyons here, your startup mentor, and thank you for tuning in. When I'm gardening or driving into Boston or doing household chores, I love listening to podcasts. And the other day I had two back-to-back podcasts that I listened to, and it got me thinking about the question, which oxygen is best for a business to soar? I mean, how do you make this difficult decision? The first podcast I tuned into was Masters of Scale, and this is hosted by Reid. He's the co-founder of LinkedIn, and he was interviewing Ben Chestnut, the co-founder of MailChimp, and they were focusing on how MailChimp grew without any investment capital. Ben and his co-founder completely bootstrapped the entire business over the years. And throughout the interview, Reid was highlighting the importance of venture capital to provide rocket fuel for a company's growth. And given his podcast title, Masters of Scale, I can understand he's clearly all about scaling a startup with investment capital. In fact, let me read to you his final words of advice at the end of that episode. While I greatly admire the tenacity of Ben and everyone who bootstraps, my hope for each of you listening is that you give a thought to what investment might bring you. More speed, more support, and yes, more on-target advice. Wonderful advice from Reid. After listening to his episode, I popped up the next item on my listening queue, and it was Gary Vee, who happened to be chatting about the complete opposite tactic, bootstrapping. And if you know Gary Vee and you listen to Gary Vee, you know he's all about staying lean and mean and bootstrapping your business to success. In fact, his adamant advice is take the long road, like MailChimp, and keep your company employee and customer-centric, not investor-centric. And sure, it will take longer, and yes, you will work harder, and you're going to miss opportunities due to the steep learning curve that you're going to be learning on your own without the advice of investors. But Gary's final words were, let's face it, those who can't raise capital are forced to make money. So which oxygen to choose is not an easy decision to make. What I've seen and learned after 4 businesses of my own and mentoring clients is that too much capital can mask holes in your business. Founders don't necessarily see problems surface soon enough, and they often overhire after receiving cash infusion into their business. Being forced to keep operations lean, in my opinion, results in digging deeper into creative solutions for tough problems. I mean, I'm a huge fan of resistance equals greatness. So when you're up against no money, you're going to dig deeper into more of your own greatness. It also, that lean machine bootstrapping scene is going to keep you more nimble and leave you more able to pivot faster. And that's something startup founders have to be able to do, because you know it's about reiterating and reiterating until you get that sweet spot. And being a lean and mean machine keeps you company and employee focused, on the culture, not the investors, and the investors' agenda to meet their portfolio's return on investment. So here's the scoop about VCs. They are so terrific at raising large funds, right? 30 million, 100 million. They are great at this task, and they need to keep their customers happy, the funders of their fund. So they become all about your business's exit. And there's only 2 ways for them to get their money back: an IPO or you sell the business. And if that's your dream come true, then yay, VC is the way for you to go. I've raised VC capital, $8 million for our .com, and we also turned down $14 million from Bear Stearns, may they rest in peace. I've also raised angel capital for my food manufacturing business, and I've used pure grit and a charming personality to bootstrap an online business. I'm a huge fan of bootstrapping, and I'm a huge fan of attracting aligned angel investors. And let me tell you, they're called angels for a reason. I mean, when you get a great angel investor on board, oh my gosh, it's just a match made in heaven. But it's up to you, the founder, to know when you've got the right match with an angel investor. And if you are not getting the good vibes, if they are not in alignment with your values and your mission for your business, please promise me you will walk away. Now, yes, if you have a capital-intensive business, or you're going to need capital investment, life science, biomed, brick and mortar, you're going to need big money to fund that long runway until what you're bringing to market is ready. Electronic consumer products and other consumer products going to market are always in need of some kind of funding. I mean, you've got to bridge that gap from prototype to manufacturing to distribution. And oftentimes that's going to be an angel investor or crowdfunding. Crowdfunding is a wonderful option for bringing a product to market, and gives you a chance to test it out as well along the way. If you get a big order from, let's say, a big box company or Microsoft, for example, a large corporate client, you can find funding opportunities through banking or factoring. And factoring lenders can be a wonderful option because they'll lend up to 80% of the purchase order for, 3 or 4 points. Depends on the company and your own credit worthiness, but that can be a great way to get that inventory out the door. Banks, of course, lines of credit, I mean, nothing wrong with that, provided that you have, again, the credit worthiness for the bank and you're prepared to go through their lending committee, loan approval committee. That's not easy, but if you're prepared to do that, it's a wonderful way to grow your business. In fact, I heard Jessie Janae, the founder of Lumi, the product design and packaging company, say that she grew her company in early stages through using factoring and lines of credit. So it gets done, folks. It's a great option. I'd love to know what your thoughts are. Are you looking for venture capital? Do you really understand that type of oxygen for your business? Or how about angel funding or bootstrapping? Where are you at? Where do you land on what is the best oxygen for your business, for other types of business? I'd love to hear your stories in the comments, okay? If you have a burning question, please leave it in the comments section. I always respond with my best insights and advice. And if you're ready for some one-on-one mentoring, please visit andelyons.com, where you'll find all the ways that I can support you in your business. I provide DIY advice here on my YouTube channel, Andelicious Advice. So please subscribe to the channel and click that wonderful little notification bell and hit the like button. I'd be genuinely grateful for that level of support. Thank you, thank you. And follow me on social media. I'm always hanging out on Twitter, my favorite social media bar, and I'd love to connect with you there. Viewers, thank you so much for tuning in. I'm always grateful for your time and your presence. And those of you that are startup founders, please remember this. Stay strong, stay focused, reach out for help, and remember, you're not alone. You've got this. I'm here for you, waving and wishing you a delicious day wherever you are. Mwah.